has to stay here. Here. Don't touch. You watch it, okay? Don't touch it. Now sometimes our sheep like to wander around, and that's okay because they're little. Oh, she wants to hold baby Jesus. You want to hold? Go ahead. Okay. We're going to hold baby Jesus. Okay, everybody, I need, why you come back just a little bit so you run it. There we go. Okay. All right, you ready? Okay. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
You first, not you.
That's right. Okay. This is a play called Jesus, Light of the World. This is a story about when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea. It's a story about light. It's a true story, and it happened over 2,000 years ago.
Before I was born.
And before I was born. Even before Grandma and Grandpa were born.
A really long time ago.
As everyone knows, Mary and Joseph took a long trip on a donkey to get to Bethlehem. And while they were there, baby Jesus was born. A huge choir of angels and a bright light appeared to some shepherds nearby and started singing. One of the angels told the shepherds to leave their flock and go see the baby. So they left their sheep and ran all the way to Bethlehem. When they saw the baby, they knew that this was a very special baby. The shepherds stayed as long as they could, but finally it was time for them to leave. So they said goodbye to Mary, Joseph, and the baby. Then the shepherds went back to their fields and flocks, praising God. After a few days, Mary and Joseph took baby Jesus to the temple in Jerusalem. And while they were there, an old man named Simeon took Jesus in his arms and said, He is the light that will shine upon the nations, and he will be the glory of all your people Israel. Mary and Joseph were amazed.
Wow!
And then a prophetess named Anna, who was very, very old, came along, and she also began thanking God for the baby, along with Simeon. She said that Jesus was the Messiah, that the Jews have been waiting for hundreds of years. Mary and Joseph were even more amazed. About that time, some wise men from the east noticed a very bright star shining in the sky. They figured out that it must be the star of the newborn king. So they left their home and followed it for about 2 years. When they finally got to Jerusalem, they looked high and they looked low, but they didn't find the baby. So the wise men went to King Herod to see if he knew anything. Now, King Herod was not a very nice man. He did bad things.
Shame on him!
He was jealous.
Shame on him!
And he lied.
Shame on him!
He told the wise men to keep looking for the newborn king, and when they found him, to come back and tell him, so that he could go worship him too. But what he really wanted to do was to kill baby Jesus.
He was Herod!
Well, the wise men left King Herod, and the star appeared to them again. it led them straight to a house in Bethlehem, where they found Jesus. As soon as they saw him, they knelt down and worshiped him. And then they had a birthday party.
With presents. Happy birthday, baby Jesus. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
The wise men gave Jesus gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And when they left to return to their own land, God told them in a dream not to go back to King Herod, so they didn't. And the baby was safe.
Yay!
And now, because Jesus was born on the very first Christmas so long ago, we have the lights of his love in our lives today. And that's what Christmas lights are really all about. Lights from the angels, lights from the star that led the wise men to Bethlehem, and of course, Jesus, the light of the world.
And I